Good afternoon. I'm Tina Chisaka with Cannabis X America, and we are here at the Cannabis Banking Symposium in Bernalillo, New Mexico, at the Santa Ana Star Casino.
Thank you for having me, Tina.
Yes.
I'm happy to be here.
Yes, I am here with Delene. Did I say that right?
Delene.
Delene.
Yes,
yeah, like a little bit like Arlene. Delene.
There you go.
Yes, and you are from Oklahoma.
That's right.
Yeah.
Boomer Sooner, Thunder Up.
Boomer Sooner. My brother would get very upset with me if I didn't say Boomer Sooner, being that we went to school in Oklahoma.
Exactly, that's right.
Right?
Can't help
OU.
it.
Go OU.
That's right.
Well, also the Thunder, Oklahoma City Thunder. They just took it away.
They sure did.
Yeah, I was in Indianapolis when the Pacers were playing.
Oh man.
Oklahoma City, but
Yeah.
of course I was for Oklahoma City.
Man, it was spectacular to see them finally pull out a national championship. We're so proud of our team and what they're doing with the community even afterwards. They are just, it's awesome. It's awesome to see.
It is really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
It is really exciting for the Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was
yeah.
I was really excited.
Yes.
Yeah, it was really good. But we are here at this Cannabis Banking Symposium, and it has been outstanding, hasn't it?
It has.
Outstanding. And you know, for the viewers, just so they know, this Cannabis Banking Symposium, it is bankers, it is folks that are in credit unions, regulators. There are people here doing risk management and CRBs.
That's right.
So, you know, all of us we somehow, some way touch cannabis in some way, but really nobody here touching the plant. There's really nobody here touching the plant. I do believe there's one true cannabis grower here, and we get to go over and actually tour the grow tomorrow for those that are still here at the symposium. But for that matter, nobody here is plant touching at all.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that tour.
Yeah. So you have got such a rich background and an incredible banking background. Say that 3 times real fast. And you've been in the banking industry for a while. You're with Prism Bank out of Oklahoma, and that's
right.
their headquarters too. It had a name before that, right?
Yes.
Prism Bank was
Oklahoma State Bank.
Oklahoma State Bank. Okay. So Prism Bank, and the first question I asked you before we jumped on was, how big is Prism Bank?
Yes, we are right at $500 million in assets and growing.
Okay, so it's a large institution. I'm having a problem talking this afternoon for some reason, and so you're serving the cannabis industry, but you weren't always serving the cannabis industry. True?
True.
Yeah. So when you started off in the banking industry, you were just kind of serving all kinds of markets yourself personally?
So I was actually not with Prism Bank whenever there was no cannabis banking whatsoever. I came in after we had obtained approval from the board to move in that space. And that came from, my husband owns a dispensary, and understanding that, there have been challenges to obtain banking services for our businesses. And as you can imagine, you're trying to pay your taxes. You're not just trying to, deposit your sales coming in, but there's, licensing fees, there's compliance fees that you need to pay in order to run a legitimate business. So, as you can imagine, the banking challenges were real.
You have employees,
exactly.
right?
100%.
Right.
Yes. So, that's kind of how we got connected with Prism Bank, who was in this space, and we were able to, move forward with banking, and that's whenever everything started changing, understanding what the banking requirements are, not just onboarding, but ongoing. You're providing all of your traditional business documentation, beneficial ownership, who the signers are, who the true people are behind the licenses, onto once you, receive a decision from your banking program that you're applying with, setting up for ongoing due diligence. So how they're managing ongoing licensing verification, and our licenses expire on an annual basis. So it's a very high touch relationship, and there's multiple licenses involved for different license types especially in Oklahoma. So knowing what licenses apply to each type of business is important to understand as you are developing relationships with them and understanding what the banking relationship should look like. From a compliance first approach, but also from a relationship driven standpoint as well.
Was your husband's dispensary the first bank that Prism Bank had taken on as a cannabis customer?
No, ma'am. It was not.
Okay. All right.
That would have been cool, though.
Okay, that's where I thought this was coming from, and why you knew so much about it, and that you had embarked on bringing the first. Were you the one that brought the first cannabis customers to Prism, though?
No, it was already well in motion.
Okay.
But with the relationships that, dispensaries are working with growers and processors, all still need banking to, operate their business. That's where, we were talking about what the business onboarding expectations were. This is a bank that is in this space. And so we were trying to connect with them and help them with their banking solutions, at least those that we were working with, and trying to just get the name out for everybody. We knew how painful it was. We didn't want people, having to keep large amounts of cash. Obviously, that puts a large target on your back, and I can speak from experience, especially from my husband's dispensary. It's been broken into 3 times. So there is a large security issue with remaining cash only for dispensaries, growers, and processors. So
did the break-ins all happen in the same year?
It did not. No,
Okay.
it's been over a span since legalization.
Okay.
But still, nonetheless, there's still a really big target on everybody's back, as even to this day with banking coming as far as it has. There was earlier discussion, it's still 65% cash transactions taking place. So, we got to get the cash off the streets. We got to get more legitimization brought forward through the banking relationships we're offering now.
Yeah. So what are the big things that, obviously there's a lot of banks out there now. As a matter of fact, earlier today when we were talking to Erin, and Erin's one of the founders of this banking symposium, and she's done a great job. This has been a great conference.
Absolutely.
We talked about the fact that probably post-COVID, or right around post-COVID, there were around 400 banks that were offering banking services, and now we're up to about 900, I think, coast to coast. So what can Prism do, knowing your husband's dispensary so intimately? You know his business. You guys are talking at home. You guys are talking morning, noon, and night. And he's telling you the deep dark secrets. What does Prism do in offering services? Where do you guys stand apart from other banking services?
We come from a relationship-driven value approach. We understand it's difficult. And it's costly. So we do our best to come to the most competitive pricing available that we can offer but it can't stop there. It can't stop at just your pricing strategy. It comes from the value that you're providing. And deposit services are probably the number one product that we are offering to help ACH, wires, the products that we were discussing in the previous panel, but also going a step further and spending time to educate our clients on the compliance expectations, which in essence brings so much efficiency to the whole process of your ongoing due diligence. They understand that when a license is expiring, that they're going to need to reach out to their compliance team and let us know, hey, here's the status, or here's our new license. So we are very involved with those conversations. It's a very high-touch relationship. We also have spent time bringing experts in to provide resources from different areas of their business that helps bring value to them. So what does insurance look like for them? What are current legitimate resources? What about payments? Payments has been a hot topic. And while, banks don't typically, tie themselves to one partner, we are in a place where we want to provide just here's some solutions that clients have had success with. We don't have official partnerships with them per se, but this is something that can help generate additional revenue for their stores. And then the compliance component, the training, we have spent time, we have invested in technology to help streamline our onboarding, vetting, and due diligence, and then ongoing. So with that training, we have seen so much efficiency in just the program that we run, and our employees being knowledgeable. We spend time training our employees to become certified in cannabis banking. That helps not just me be the face of the program, but everybody can have this high-level conversation and educate the clients on what they're getting with their services.
So the top banker says, hey, everybody has to go and smoke a joint at lunchtime and try out this new product. I say that because my son, who actually did work for a producer, he did have to try out product. Now, he was on the product side, totally, of course. I did want to throw that little joke in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, Mom, wait, let me get a little lower. Mom, I have to try out this weed at lunchtime. I'm like, really? Oh, yeah, well, I get handed 4 joints, and then I get to go smoke them at lunch. I'm like, wow, that's cool. I mean,
wow.
Really?
Yeah.
You get to try out the actual product?
Now, don't get me in trouble on that. I'm definitely not not on that side of things, trying products, but I will say that I have a huge respect for the amount of time that these businesses spend on their branding to get their products out. And, I was discussing this earlier. There's a green premium on everything, whether it's cannabis packaging, cannabis insurance, cannabis banking.
Yes.
Every angle of their business sees a green premium. And so I will say, the testing landscape of our industry is constantly evolving. So I have a high respect for these businesses that are producing those compliant products, and they are investing in their branding, and they're doing a significant job. It really takes an innovative, creative mind to not just be a compliant business, but being adaptable to what the market is throwing at them and still maintaining quality products for their patients.
And they really do cutting edge, and we're definitely going to come right back to banking, but they really are so cutting edge on their products. I mean, and the way they've done the packaging and the way they've done the branding and everything, it's really super cutting edge. And and the cannabis industry has done just an outstanding job. They really want to attract the customer,
Yeah.
I mean, it just burst out on the scene, and they've just done a magnificent job. I can't say any more to it. I don't know any other industry. They've definitely jumped ahead of alcohol and other industries of attracting, the audience, of getting them to their products. And sometimes you don't even know it's cannabis. You're just kind of like, hey, what's that device over there? What's that? What is that? What are those things?
Right.
You don't really know what it is.
Yeah.
And then, you go under the covers. Oh, okay, it's marijuana.
Yes.
Well,
with the Schedule I classification, obviously there's limited research that has been done up until this point, but my goodness, the innovation that has taken place on the CBD side and introducing that with THC products and educating clients, or not clients, but their patients on how much more of a medical effect they could have by introducing CBD and THC into their products. It's not necessarily about the high or the psychoactive impact. It's about, for many, especially in Oklahoma, long-term health and, really the medical classification in Oklahoma. There is no pre-existing conditions that allow you to get a patient card. Essentially, you could have a headache and a doctor recommend,
Sure.
We get the recommendation and they're going in and purchasing once they get that card in the mail. But the education has evolved, and the advancement of introducing different ways to attract the demographic. That's what I would say is probably 45 to 60 is probably the largest demographic, I would say, in the Oklahoma market. So appealing to them, counteracting the impact of opioids it's had, especially in Oklahoma. So it is great to see the feedback that my husband provides whenever, they get their recommendation. They come in and they say, I've been taking gabapentin, I've been taking Lortabs, or some other other high level narcotics or Schedule 3s, just these medications that are really debilitating our population as a whole, and introducing something that is natural and is able to kind of really in a big way destigmatize the whole narrative on cannabis.
Oh, yeah, for sure. One thing I do know about the Oklahoma market, they have quite a forward-thinking cancer market there for cannabis and cancer. And I don't know the guidebook off the top of my head, but my producer and I'll find it, and if we can remember to throw it up on this video. But I do believe that Oklahoma is even throwing in some money and paying for cannabis for cancer patients. There's some criteria that you have to qualify for, but there is a cancer guide coming out of Oklahoma for cancer patients, and Oklahoma is doing something in a very big way on that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so. Well,
that, and whenever you see people that are completely against it, it's really hard. I'm respectful of people's opinions. I'm not going to just sit there and argue. That's your opinion. That's fine. But you see those cancer patients, find something that works for them, and you see kids stop having seizures. You see,
for real.
I mean,
for real.
It just,
yes.
it gives me goosebumps
yes.
to know the type of impact that this has, and people still cannot see the value because of the stigma that's in their head.
Well, you've educated yourself.
That's right.
You've educated yourself, and you already know. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, going back to Prism and your fantastic bank and your services, how can people reach you? We're for sure going to put up the bank website and everything, but how can we reach you?
Yeah, so you can reach me, my direct or my email. So,
are you on LinkedIn also?
I am on LinkedIn.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So go follow or connect with me on LinkedIn, mm-hmm. and you could email me directly, dgilbert@prism.bank, or contact me directly at 405-260-9826.
Oh, that's fantastic. And so cannabis companies can reach Prism directly for all of the services, correct?
Yes, and we have a cannabis support hotline as well. So they're more than welcome to email us at cannabisbanking@prism.bank or call our hotline at 405-260-9869.
Okay, super. And then right before we wrap up here, we're just finishing this amazing conference. Are you going to be doing any more conferences for the rest of the year? Are you headed out to one of the big banking ones? Any other big conferences for you?
Yes. I'll be on a panel at PBC in September 3rd, specifically at 1 or 1:30. But yes, I will be taking a Q&A from cannabis bankers, regulators, operators that have questions about banking. So it's a pure Q&A, and I'm looking forward to hearing what everybody has to say.
I think all of us that met each other here, we all want to just follow each other again to PBC, because
yes.
we all want to continue on these fantastic conversations. Yeah. So that's going to be the plan. We'll all have to have a reuniting mocktail that has a little bit of love in it.
Yes. Oh, I totally
and THC.
agree.
How's that? So we will definitely get back to the symposium here, but thank you so much for coming on with us, and we will definitely put up the video with everything to reach out to Prism Bank. But you guys have some great services, so folks that are looking for banking services, Prism is definitely one to look at. They have some unique, tender loving care for sure for their customers. And I'm Tina Tasaka, Cannabis X America.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.